All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, All Star guard Damian Lillard is the latest to cash in on all of the money that is being thrown around the NBA this summer. The Portland Trail Blazers and Lillard agreed on a 2-year extension for $122 million that will keep the six-time All-Star in the Pacific Northwest through 2027. There was some speculation that the Blazers were looking to rebuild after they sent longtime guard CJ McCollum to the New Orleans Pelicans in a trade this past season. But this deal shows Portland's commitment to Lillard. However, will Lillard be happy to remain in Portland? And I say that because, Lillard in the past has expressed his frustration. And, he's getting to that point in his career that obviously, he wants to win an NBA championship. He's on the other side of 30. You're seeing some of these guys that are on your level, get those titles, and you want to be in that mix as well. And when you think about it, the Blazers, they've only made it out of the first round of the playoffs once in the last 6 years. And of course, this past season, Portland did not make the playoffs at all. And a lot of that was due to the fact that Lillard was injured. Now, when Portland decided to move on from Terry Stotts following the 2021 playoffs, Lillard wasn't happy. They brought in a new head coach and former NBA guard Chauncey Billups, and Chauncey was just trying to get his message across to Lillard. But obviously, we don't know what could have really been due to the fact that Lillard was injured. Damian Lillard only appeared in 29 games this past season for Portland. The team's record reflected that as the Blazers went 27 and 55 for their worst season in about 15 years. So, with that said, Lillard should be healthy for the start of this NBA season, and let's see what the Blazers can do. But with that said, the way that the Trailblazers are currently constructed, in my opinion, they are not built to win or really contend for an NBA championship. I see them as a team that more than likely they'll be in the mix for a spot in the play-in tournament next season. I mean, you think about it, obviously Lillard's going to be back. Some of your other key pieces on this team are going to be the likes of Yusuf Nurkic, who missed time last year with an injury, and Anthony Simmons. Neither one of these guys is going to give you 25 points per game. But with that said, they're not going to get the same shot selection with Lillard out there. And, Lillard is one of those guys, phenomenal player, one of the best players at his position in the NBA currently. But he's a guy that, for the most part, is not going to make the people around him better. I know that he has averaged 6.5 assists for his NBA career, but Dame is a guy. Obviously, he needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and also he's going to take his fair share of shots. So, with that said, it's very tough to say, what, the way that this team looks, that they're ready to really make that push for a championship. For me, in my opinion, obviously the Blazers have paid Lillard very handsomely. He is, without a doubt, one of the best players to ever suit up for them in the history of this franchise. But with that said, I think that Portland is one, two at the most more first round exits from the postseason from Damian Lillard saying, you know what, I want out of town. And with that said, the way I see it like this, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Portland makes the play-in tournament next season. Let's say they're one and done in that play-in tournament, or let's say that they get to the first round of the playoffs and they're one and done. It's a scenario where Lillard obviously more than likely will be frustrated because he's tired of just getting there. But also, I think that frustration is going to come out publicly as well. And, because people are going to look at Damian Lillard for the caliber of player and scorer that he is and wonder why it's not getting done. So, with that said, the money is good, but the championships are not going to, or the title, one title is not going to come along with it. It's kind of along the lines of Bradley Beal situation that I recently discussed when he signed his new contract to remain with the Washington Wizards. It looks good on paper, it looks good in your bank account, but it's not going to lead to a championship. And you think about what Portland is going to have to go through next year in the West to make the playoffs. Both Los Angeles teams are expected to be healthy and better in the Lakers and Clippers. You still have the defending NBA champions in the Golden State Warriors, the Memphis Grizzlies, the upstart New Orleans Pelicans, possibly the Dallas Mavericks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Denver Nuggets, and the Phoenix Suns as well, just to mention a few. So it's going to be an uphill battle for this team to make the playoffs. Obviously, Lillard wants to get some cohesion with the system of Chauncey Billups, as well as get some cohesion with some of the new guys on this team that joined after the blockbuster CJ McCollum trade last season. So it looks good for the wallet of Damian Lillard, but let's see if the Blazers can find a way to get the wins, most notably the wins in the postseason when it matters the most. But make no mistake about it, even with a healthy Lillard on the Blazers squad next season, they're still going to be facing an uphill battle in the tough Western Conference. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.